Hey guys, well today we're going to take a look at Arcade1Up's Star Wars arcade game machine. Now a lot of you know that I've not really been a big fan of the Arcade1Up arcades. It's not that I don't like them, it's just that they just weren't for me at the time. I was very tempted to buy the 1201 that was exclusive to Kohl's when they first came out, but after seeing a lot of the quality issues that Arcade1Up was having with the decals rubbing off on the deck plates and things like that. They have corrected that though. They have like these little overlays, plexiglass overlays they put over the top now, which is really nice. That was a really good fix that they did. And a lot of their newest ones that come out now have that little protective cover plate as well. So that was a real good move on their part. They're nice looking machines. I don't have really anything against Arcade1Up. It's just I'm a little particular, you know. I was tempted about the 1201 when Galaga came out at the Walmart exclusive. I almost picked one of those up, but it didn't really look like the Galaga cabinet too much, and I was like, no, I'm going to wait. But then at E3 this year, they announced the Star Wars arcade machine, Arcade1Up, a premium cabinet they were making, and that really piqued my interest. Now, I had a Star Wars arcade back in the 90s. And unfortunately, when I relocated, my company relocated me, I wasn't able to bring it with me. I had to sell off a lot of my arcade games because of that. And regrettably, that was one of the games I had to sell. My wife knew I really loved that game, and she knows I've always regretted selling it. I wish I still had it today. It was actually in really good shape. So I got a surprise. I came home from work. Well, I was on the road. I came home off the road. Came out to my game cave out here. And this was sitting out here in the box. Evidently, my wife pre-ordered it from GameStop. I didn't know she even ordered the crazy thing. It came while it was gone, which I guess it's lucky for her it did, because it was actually a surprise. So I was just absolutely ecstatic that I got a hold of this. I was thinking about ordering it, but I was a little hesitant too. But needless to say, I've got one. So now I can give a nice little review of it. Well, not actually a review. I'm going to give what my thoughts are on this thing. I don't do a lot of reviews, actually, because reviews are subjective. What I may like, someone else may not like. What they like, I may not like. So basically, when you look at videos like this, it's like, what do you like? You know, don't take my opinions as, you know, it's got to be this way or nothing else. No, don't do that. These are my thoughts only on the machine. So, in talking about that, let's go ahead and take a look at the build manual and the instruction manual that came with this. Both are absolutely incredibly well done. I got to give whoever at Arcade1Up did the instruction manual for putting this thing together, you rock. This thing was so simple to put together using those instructions. I'm really impressed with the assembly instructions. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm sorry, guys. Let's take a look at that, at the manuals. Then I'll do a little bit of the gameplay. I'll show some of the quality issues that I noticed while I'm talking about the manual. And I'll give my final thoughts at the end of this video. So, let's get right into it. So here's the assembly instruction manual. As I was saying earlier, this is really well done. It's in multiple languages, which is really good, really cool. And it's very easy to follow. Basically, the only tool you need is a Phillips screwdriver. They don't recommend using a power drill because it's easy to strip out the wood if you do that. So I used a regular Phillips screwdriver to assemble my machine. It took me approximately an hour and a half to do it, but I wasn't really rushing. You can do it quicker. I've seen people do it faster in their videos. But I just took my time. I wanted to enjoy the build of the machine. It was a pretty easy build. So we'll look at the instructions here. It tells you Phillips screwdriver. Gives you a list of all the different hardware you have in the bag, your power cables, and then here we go. It starts off. Here's all your pieces you get laid out, and you just basically just follow the instructions. We've got 4 dowel rods, insert into section G, and just continue on doing all this. Very, very easy build. Probably the most challenging part of this build for me was getting these screws into the cabinet for the monitor. That was a little hard because the monitor would get away of the screwdriver to get into the screws. But other than that, it went together really nice. Didn't really have any fitment issues at all. Hooking up the electronics. Get to the back end here, you get to the final assembly here. You got the control panel, you plug it in. Tells you to peel off the little protective cover. If you forget to do that, it looks like it's whited out a little bit. So you want to make sure you peel this off. It is a little challenging to peel off the cover of that protective plate that's over all the artwork. But as you're figuring out one corner, just keep rubbing, and eventually it'll peel up and you'll get it off. The hardest one to get off is around the monitor, because you got these screws on the monitor. If you try to rip it all around those screws, you have pieces of plastic sticking out. So what I did is I started one corner, I removed all the screws along the bottom, peeled it up, put all the screws back in, took out the screws on the side, got up past that, put those back in, and then took all three out of the top, finished peeling it off, and put the screws back in, give me a nice clean look, and not removing all the screws all at once. Hooking up your power, the speakers, very, very straightforward. I got to give Arcade1Up a lot of props for their instruction manual. It is really well done. I am very impressed with it. And of course, with the machine, you also get your instruction manual for playing the 3 games. Now, what would have been cool is if they would put like a little sleeve or something on the back of the machine or something like that where you can actually store your instructions. On my arcade machine, I had like a little thing I bolted on the back of it to keep an envelope in that had the wiring diagrams, the actual arcade instructions, stuff like that. A lot of the arcade games I owned, I did that to keep everything together with the game. That's something real simple you can do. You can actually, go to Office Max or Staples, something like that, and get yourself a little simple bolt-on manila envelope holder to put on the back machine or something. That's what I'm going to do with this one. But it folds out, talks about the installation, shows all the controls for the 3 different games, shows the flight yoke calibration. Basically, I want to show this in the video on how to do it. It's very straightforward, but it's kind of cool that you can actually calibrate your yoke in case you got to do some repair to it, something like that. This is a really nice yoke. I'm really impressed with the yoke they got on this machine. And then to enjoy a safe gaming environment, please bolt your machine to the wall. Yeah, I guess this thing is a little top heavy. If you tip over, you get really rough with it. But on the riser, I've been playing a few games on it. I've not had any problem with it coming forward on me. It has a nice little troubleshooting section. And it gives you a nice little list of alternative games you can get as well, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's cool. Marvel Superheroes. Golden Tee Classics, which is a really fun golf game. Mortal Kombat, Final Fight, Karate Champ. Pretty cool. Based on this purchase here, I may get another Arcade1Up machine. If they ever did like a Tron, I would probably definitely buy a Tron. Maybe next year for E3. Maybe they'll do a special edition Tron like they did Star Wars. If they did that, I would lose my ever-friggin' mind. Because Tron and Star Wars Arcade are in my top 5 all-time favorite arcade games. So I would definitely have to make room in my game cave for a Tron. I'd probably be the only 2 I would have out here. It's only got room for actually 1, to tell you the truth. But I would make room somewhere. I'm rambling. I ramble a lot. So let's go ahead and go to the machine itself, talk about it a little bit, and then I'll do some gameplay. Now, Arcade1Up did a really good job on replicating the arcade controls. This is really awesome how they were able to replicate the Star Wars controller. It does a pretty good job. It's got a couple complaints on it, which is not a big deal. There's a dead zone in the middle when you're going side to side. Not a real big deal. Buttons are very responsive. And it's used to actually get back to the main menu. If you hold down all 4 buttons at the same time, after 5 seconds, it'll take you back to the main menu, so you have to keep turning the thing on and off. When you turn the machine on, you hold the right 2 buttons down as you turn it on, and go into the calibration menu where you can calibrate your controller, which is really cool as well. Have our on-off right there. We have a volume control that's actually an actual volume control. It's not a 3-stage volume like you see in most things. It actually has a variable volume, which is really awesome. Pretty cool. One thing I don't really like about this cabinet right here, this faceplate, is they use silver screws. You can see over here in the corner. I would like to have black screws like around the monitor to hide those. I'm going to go to Lowe's this morning and get some of these black screw caps to put on these things to make it a little bit better looking. But that's just a minor thing. Of course, a major plus for this cabinet is this light-up marquee. Really cool. You can see there's a little bit of bleed-through right here where they didn't get all the paint. That's just a minor quality thing. Also, when this came in the box, there's a rattling inside, and I found one of the screws that hold this bar in place, the LEDs inside, evidently was over-tightened and stripped, and it fell out. So I got a little bit of wood glue and put it back together again. Another minor little quality issue from Arcade1Up, but otherwise, it's actually pretty cool. Now, the artwork they did on this cabinet is really well done. They did a really good job with the artwork on the side, over on the front. And I love this riser. That really adds to the machine. So cool. Now, the only quality issue I saw with the decals was there is just a little bit of overlap of the decal right there. There we go. I want to try to get an X-Acto knife and try to trim that up so it doesn't peel over in time. Before we play the game, let's take a look at some of the settings you can do. So we'll go here to the Star Wars arcade game. We'll go down here. Let me turn up the sound so you can hear the sound. And this allows us to make changes to the game. So we can start off with 8 shields. We can change that. Play difficulty easy. That's the Willy mode. Bonus shield. Music and attract, yes. Vector glow. I have mine set on bold. It makes it look more like the arcade machine. You can do bright, sparkle. I don't like the sparkle mode. None, standard, and bold. Reset high scores? No. So it will keep your high scores. Pretty cool. Save and exit. Pretty simple. You can do the same thing for Empire Strikes Back if you want to make changes to it. Same kind of thing. We'll put that on bold too. I like bold the best. Save and exit. And of course we can do Return of the Jedi. That one gives you the option of scan lines or no scan lines. I have scan lines turned on. Yeah, right there. Scan lines on. Makes it look more like the arcade machine when you do that. So that's pretty straightforward. So now let's get to the calibration mode. So if I turn it off, I hold both the buttons on the right hand side of the controller as I turn it on. Keep it held. It goes into the calibration mode. So you can draw your rectangle. So you go to all 4 corners, like so. Let it recenter, and hit the trigger to save. Center, save. Let's aim at this one up here. Cool. So we're testing our calibration. And boom! There we go. Arcade1Up. I love their intro. It's pretty cool. Star Wars by Code Mystics, Taste Masters. But you see, even though I've recalibrated, I still have that little dead zone in there. Just a minor thing. It doesn't really affect the gameplay too much. Alright, let's give the game a try. Okay, I like the little whistle. That's cool. So let's give the game a try here. Alright. I love the transition effect.
The force will be with you.
Oh yeah.
Red 5 standing by.
Now the controls are very responsive. It's just like playing the actual arcade machine, which is really cool. Oh, get him, get him! Oh! Heading for the trench.
Use the force.
Now, if I don't fire at all, I get some bonus points if I use the force. So I'm going to try to do that. Oh! No, it's kind of bad when you get hit on the very first level. Do. Oh, no, you don't. Whoa, no, you don't. Whoa. 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 Oh, here we go.
You're all clear, kid.
Yes! 5,000 points for using the Force. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and check out Empire Strikes Back. So I want to hold all the buttons down on the controller, which will put me in reset mode. There we go. So now I can try the Empire Strikes Back. I love this upgrade to the machine. I loved it when it came out in the arcade.
He could destroy us. May the force be with you.
We'll do medium. Uh-oh. Darth Vader's looking for us.
I picked up something outside the base. More is sometime.
So first we're going to battle the probe droids. Whoa! No! Oh, they're sending the signal. Oh! Oh, I'm not. Oh boy. Oh, here comes the walkers. I love the walkers.
We spotted Imperial walkers.
Fire the tow cable. Oh. Oh, get him. There we go. Oh yeah, got a bonus. Awesome.
Not the evacuation.
Oh, I don't have more tow cables.
Prepare to make the Delta light speed. I want that ship not.
I mean, the cool thing about the upgrade to the original Star Wars arcade machine to the Empire Strikes Back is it offered a whole bunch of different levels. That was a great addition to the machine. So it really varied the gameplay. Oh yeah, I got the D.
There's no way to go.
Oh boy, I gotta avoid the asteroids. Oh no! Do. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh no! Whoa! No! Oh!
We're coming out of the asteroid field. The son of
Woo! Got the eye. Awesome.
become a Jedi. He could destroy us.
That's awesome. Okay,
He will join
so let's check out the last game here. Do the reset. And then we have Return of the Jedi, which I am terrible at this game. Didn't really play it in the arcades very much. It's one of those three-quarter view games, like Zaxxon.
The security deflector shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Leave them to me. Myself. Go for help. I need it. Wait for me.
Hardest thing I have problems with is avoiding the trees. Well, there we go. That worked. Whoa. Oh! I hit an Ewok. Ooh, right between, yeah. Oh, ah, darn it, hit the tree again. There we go.
We are now a part of the tribe.
We are now part of the tribe. Awesome.
Here goes nothing.
Okay, here's where I usually die a lot.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, get up here, get up here. Ah.
Now lock onto the strongest power source. It should be the power generator.
Oh, get him, get him, get him. No! Dang it. Oh! Willie likes the games, but he's just not too good at playing them. Oh, that was close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah, they got me.
Go for the power regulator on the north tower.
Oh, get him. Whoa, get out of here. Go. Oh. Oh, man. I died. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome game. Well, let's go and give some of my final thoughts of the game. So, that was the Arcade1Up's Star Wars Trilogy arcade machine. Pretty cool, isn't it? Had a few minor issues with it. You know, one of the things I didn't like was that small little dead zone right in the middle of the screen where you're going from side to side. I didn't really like that. The quality issues I can live with. I can fix most of them. They're not a big deal. I am very impressed with the build quality of this machine, especially with the higher, taller riser. It actually puts the machine right at the right height for me to play when I'm standing in front of it, which that's pretty cool. If I take it off the riser, I can comfortably sit in my chair, and it's right at the right height to play sitting down as well. So I'm about 6 foot tall, so that's kind of a plus there for me. And of course, I really love the lighted marquee that they've done. It really sets this game apart. And I like that they kept to the original arcade shape and design. Really good. Would I recommend buying this? Well, if you're a big fan of the arcade game and you're not a true elitist where you're going to have the actual thing, you just want the game to play, like that's what I like to do. I just like to play the games. I don't care what it's on. This would probably be for your game cave. It'd be a real nice addition. The sounds are absolutely incredible. It's got the cool stereo speakers, has the adjustable volume control, which is really nice. There's a whole lot of pluses to this machine. The price point's a little high, but it's Star Wars. That in itself makes it really cool. I mainly bought it because it's Star Wars. I used to have one, so I have a lot of memories of this game, a lot of nostalgia attached to it. And it was a nice option to be able to buy the machine back again and not spend like $2,000 or $3,000 to get the Vector one again. I think my wife would shoot me if I did that. But anyway, I'm rambling. What are your thoughts on the Arcade1Up machines? Comment down below. If you've got videos, reviews that you've done on them, share it down below as well so other people can see your reviews of Arcade1Up machines. Did you buy this machine? If so, and you did a review, put a link down below to your channel. Let other people see what you think about this machine. I love seeing what other people's opinions are about this. Anyway, until next time, everyone, and may the Force be with you, and keep on retro gaming.
Thanks for watching.